Hey there, I'm teen behavior expert Josh Shipp. Today let's talk about how to apologize to your teen when you've messed up. First of all, if you haven't apologized to your teen yet in your life, then something is really wrong. I don't know any parent that's perfect, certainly myself included. And one of the roles of a family is to teach kids how to give and receive forgiveness. This is a crucial life skill. But there are ways to effectively apologize, and then there are ways not to effectively apologize. Have you ever had someone apologize to you, but it was like terrible apology, and afterwards you were sitting there kind of thinking to yourself, hey, wait a minute, I don't feel any better at all right now. It's amazing to me, but some people really don't know how to apologize. They'll be like, I'm sorry you're so stupid, or I'm sorry that you overreacted and are a girl, or this one's my favorite. This is not the most right I've ever been. I'm sorry. That is not an apology. So let's talk about how to apologize to your teen. Because here's the thing. Life is about relationships. And that means you need to learn the crucial skill, how to ask for forgiveness once you've messed up. And although some parents think that apologizing to their teen may make them authoritatively seem weak, actually the opposite is true. By being willing to apologize to your teen, it causes them to respect you more. That's just the flat out truth. So here's how to apologize. First of all, be genuine. The first thing you need to get right is that you have to be genuine. In order to apologize, you have to genuinely want things to get better with that other person. A lot of people that mess up, will say like, I'm sorry, okay? That doesn't quite cut the mustard when you apologize like that. It doesn't, convey that you're genuinely sorry. Now, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that you pretend, to be sorry if you're not really. You need to do a gut check here. You need to check yourself. And if you're not sorry and you don't feel like apologizing, then perhaps you have some issues going on inside of you that, some pride things that are preventing you from realizing when you are at fault. But once you get to the point where you realize that you actually did hurt someone else and that you need to apologize, then make sure the other person knows authentically that you value them and that you value their feelings and that you genuinely, truly want to apologize. Another thing, don't make excuses, right? This is a big one. As parents, our kids are going to learn a little bit from what we say, but they're going to learn the most from what we do. And so, if you don't want your kids making excuses for their behavior, we should make excuses for our behavior. So don't justify what you did. You are apologizing for what you did. Here are 5 phrases that you should never, ever use when apologizing because they sort of like short circuit the apology. Whatever you do, please don't say, I didn't mean to. All right. Well, you may not have meant to, but when you hit me in the head with a baseball bat or, whatever, I'm being silly, obviously, I still have a bump on my head. It was an accident. Maybe it didn't mean to hurt or whatever, but yes, that still happened. So, don't try to minimize it by saying, just forget about it or these sorts of things. It's important to simply take ownership. This is really, really important. Nobody's perfect. These sorts of things, the kid will eventually get over it, but it's important that you're an example and you take responsibility. Which leads me to my next point, take full responsibility. Now this is probably the toughest part. You have to, before the apology even happens, be ready to do whatever it takes to make things right as far as it concerns you. It may cost you money, it may cost you time, it may cost you all sorts of things. Let's say that you forgot to do something that you promised. Well, now in order to make up for that, you're going to have to stop what you're doing right now and do the thing that you initially promised. It may cost you, humiliation. If you said something untrue about your kid, you might have to get up and apologize to the people that, you said that thing to. That might be humiliating. That's good because those feelings, the whole reason they're there is to keep us from making that same mistake again. Here's another piece of advice. Communicate how you plan on changing. The whole point of the way in which you apologize to your kid is to model for them how they should do such. Actions speak louder than words. Talk is cheap. You're sorry? So what? Prove it. The last thing you want to be is a kind of person who apologizes for the same thing over and over and over again. That sort of communicates that you're not really sorry, but that you don't intend on changing. And if you love someone, like as parents, we all love our kids, and you've done something unintentionally to hurt them, then this means stopping that thing immediately and communicating to them that you intend to stop. So figure out what that next step is and then tell the person that you're apologizing to. Now, I know that some of this stuff is frankly hard, and here's what I've learned. When you tell someone you're going to try to change and then tell them, but I might mess up from time to time, so people are going to have to be patient with me, that's fine. They know that you're at least trying. No one, including your kid, is going to expect perfection out of you. They just want to know, hey, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. As your mom, as your dad, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But I want you to know that I'm sorry and that I'm going to do the following to try to change. Another piece of advice, don't try to control their response. Now, this is honestly really, really tough. I want you to drop your expectation of how your teen is going to receive your apology. Here's what I hope for you. I hope that they see your sincerity, see your plans to change and say, I accept your apology and I forgive you. And then things go back to normal. This is, at the healthiest level, what an apology looks like. But it might not. They might not accept your apology. They might need time. They might say, no way, I don't forgive you. I'll never forget you, or forgive you for what you've done. Bottom line, that's okay. That's not on you. That's not your problem. You can't control them. You've done what you've needed to do. You've done it to the best of your ability, and you are honest. Bottom line with apologies is how they take it, that's on them. I know this is hard, but it's true. Sometimes it takes more maturity to accept an apology than to deliver one. So as parents, let's model for our kids how to responsibly, maturely deliver an apology, take responsibility, commit to changing, and hope that by modeling this behavior, they will adapt it as their own. Good luck to you.